I'm here to talk about some spiritual things. The main topic will be spiritual resilience and how to stay grounded in God through life's battle. This is a very key topic right here because, we all go through the struggle. We all read the Bible and we all pray to God, right? This is my first video on YouTube of spirituality and God talk. So the first thing we're going to talk about is, what is spiritual resilience, defined and simply? I think spiritual resilience is ultimately just letting yourself go. I know that sounds a little harsh, but listen, when you let go of yourself, when you let go of your mind and give it to God, right, you're gonna feel like a totally different person. You're gonna feel like you can do anything. And when you feel like you can do anything, then you will set your mind to anything, no matter the standards, no matter what people told you, no matter what your mind thinks is okay. Your God is going to give you this type of mindset and set you apart from everyone else. And those people are going to think you're weird. Those people are going to think that you're different, which you are, because you have the main source inside of you. Now, those people don't see that main source inside of you. They see a different person. They see there's something different about him. And it is. And be glad about that. Like, I'm not going to lie to you, like, literally yesterday, I had a inconvenience with my family, and they said I've been acting very weird and very strange lately. No, I'm sorry to tell you, bro, but I'm not acting weird. You see something in me that you don't have in yourself. I've been trying to get you there, but you see something in me that you don't see in yourself. And so every single day I wake up, read the Bible. I wake up every day and read the Discernment. I wake up every day and read and listen to the gospel, bro. When you connected to God and you meditate and you literally pray to God, bro, you're connected to him. You feel me? You're connected to him. And you get a bigger and stronger relationship, a stronger bond with them. And you have this type of peace that no one sees and no one understands. So that's honestly spiritual resilience. When you surrender yourself and you come to Christ and you give up everything that you have inside of you, and you let God direct your life. That's spiritual resilience. And another key on spiritual resilience is you have to have faith. Walk by faith and not by sight. When you do that, everything falls in line. Everything. Like you get to know your full self. You get to know your weaknesses and strength. It's like a mirror reflected back to you. You know what I mean? Spiritual resilience isn't about thinking everything's okay. You're going to have battles. And those battles are from God, and those battles are from the devil. You have the God on your other side and the devil on your other side. You have to choose the right one. And the first thought that comes to your head, that's your spiritual discernment. That's God telling you that's the right thing to do. But then you get that other thought, that second thought, that third thought, that fifth thought. That's the devil, bro. When your heart tells you that that's the right decision, from the angel, from God, that's the right decision. But then you get those other thoughts that are not like what the other decision just gave you. And ultimately, you're fighting demons, bro. You're in a spiritual war. And that's what spiritual war is all about. So when you get all these tests from the devil, God is there to back you up. God is right there. He is your anchor. So when you don't come to God, when the devil throwing you all these hits and blows and punches and uppercuts, bro, you're going to lose the battle because you're not relying on God. When you're not relying on God, it's over with, bro. You're going to lose the battle because that is your anchor. That is your sword. That is your sword. That is your holy sword. But then when you keep getting those punches and blows and you bleed and you about to give up, you call on one prayer, it's over with. He's demolishing every single last one of those punches and blows. You're getting healed. Simple. So it's not about how many hits you can take. It's about how well can you surrender, All right, so another thing is, what weakens spiritual resilience? This is something that really needs to be said. A lot of people, even myself, struggle with these things. Okay, so listen. If you try to make a new habit for yourself, like waking up at 4, 3, 2 o'clock in the morning just to start your day, some people do that, don't get me wrong. You have to make that habit. You want to get it done. You want to have a real natural habit of doing that. But if you wake up and you go based on how you're feeling, that's not a good thing. You know, you're not based on your feelings. You or yourself is not based on your feelings. That's not who you are. You are God-like. You are spiritual-like. You're not the flesh. The flesh is telling you these emotions. The flesh is telling you, no, you need to go back to sleep. Go get an extra 30 to 45 minutes of sleep. No, but when you listen to the Spirit of God, when you listen to God itself, He's telling you to wake up. The Spirit is telling you to wake up, because that is your higher self talking to you, not your flesh. Your flesh is telling you to obey Him, but no, you are in control. The Spirit is in control. When you talk to yourself like, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I am that I am, that's ultimately in the Bible. You know, when you say that I am, you're talking to your spirit. You're talking to your inner self. You're talking to your higher self. And when you continuously doing that, I am going to wake up at this time, I am going to do this, I am going to do that, you're talking to your higher self. And your higher self within 2 hours or 2 days down the road, he's going to do it because you're saying that I am. Now, Jesus did the same thing. I am that I am. So don't go based on your feelings. Like, do not do that. I'm pretty sure when Jesus was doing what he was doing in this time on this earth, he wasn't basing off his feelings. You know how many times he probably could have got angry. You know how many times he probably could have got sad or depressed or whatnot. No, he stayed strong because his feelings is not him. That's the flesh talking to you, bro. That's the flesh talking to you, bro. And when you have good feelings like happiness, joyness, gratitude, and you have all these positive feelings, that's all from God. But the negative ones, oh, I'm feeling lazy, or I don't want to do this, or, you know, I feel sad, I feel this, you know, that's all from the devil. And you gotta learn how to discern those type of things. Relying on your feelings or even circumstances can get you in the wrong predicament, can get you in the wrong state of mind. And when you rely on your circumstances, it says in the Bible, walk by faith and not by sight. So if you look in front of you and you like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm struggling right now, God. I don't got enough money to pay this or pay that. What's going on? So then after you think that and you look in front of you, you're wondering like, I can't rely on God no more. He's not doing anything. No, you got it all wrong. You got it all wrong. Trust me. When you do that, then that's when your mind starts to take elsewhere. And then you start taking matters into your own hands. You're not strong like that, my guy. I'm sorry to tell you, you're not strong like that. God is stronger than you. God is 100,000 times stronger than you. So when you take matters into your own hands, you're like, okay, I'm about to go do this. I'm about to go do that just to get some money or just to make me feel better because now I'm taking matters into my own hands. When you do that, you lose faith. When you do that, you lean away from God, not towards Him. When you do that, you're constantly stressing, you're constantly anxious, you're constantly mad, you're constantly frustrated, you're constantly just overthinking. And when you just let go, when you just like, I know the Lord got me. I ain't even tripping. I know the Lord got me. Then that's when God works. That's when God works. Because when you know that God has you, when you surrender, when you lay back and be like, yes, let God do the work, but you still have to work. Don't get me wrong. You still have to work. You still have to do things, but you're not worrying. You're not anxious. You're not mad. You're not frustrated. When you do that, things will happen in numerous ways that you don't understand. He's working underneath the ground, but you're at the surface level and he's working underneath here. Then it comes to the surface and you're like, wow, God is amazing. God is truly amazing. And it happened to me plenty of times. Like I was very conscious about paying a bill, right? I was so conscious about paying a bill. I'm like, I'm stressing. Like I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And so I just kept reading my Bible. I'm like, you know, there's something got to be, God has to talk to me somehow, you know what I mean? I can't just leave my God like that, you know what I mean? I can't do it. And so I just kept reading my Bible and nothing was happening. I'm like, God, what is going on? Like where are you at? And so I walked outside and I got separated from the household. You know, I started to walk outside like Jesus did. And no, Jesus is a prime example of what you're supposed to do, honestly. So I walked outside and I was isolated. I brought my little discernment book, my little thing that tells you all type of scriptures and stuff. So I'm walking outside and I'm just looking up in the air like, God, I know you hear me. What do I do? No answer. No answer at all. I'm like, God, I know that I need to keep my faith. I know I need to obey you. I know I need to be obedient. I know I need to do this and that. God, but what do I do? What do you want me to do? What's my next step, Lord Jesus? What am I doing? No answer. Because God has already given me the things necessary to excel. But I didn't see it because my faith was so small. So I just kept looking up in the sky. I'm like, God, please help me. Please. What am I doing? Please give me some type of sign, some signal. No, he's not giving me none of that. And I'm like, I felt discouraged a little bit, but I'm like, no, I got to keep going because this is where my faith lies at. This is where I need to stop looking at my circumstances and looking at him. Look at him and not look at the circumstance. When Peter came up off that boat and he looked behind him, then that's when he started to flood. Listen, he started to drown, I meant. So listen, keep your eye on God, keep your eye on Jesus, and everything will be okay. But back to the story. I'm just continuously walking. I'm like, man, you know, he's not really telling me anything. Like, and so I stopped in my tracks. I got to thinking, I'm like, no, I got to listen to his voice. I got to stay silent. I got to stay silent and let him speak. I got to stay silent and stop talking. So I stopped in my tracks. I put my elbows on this little rail. I said, God, I'm listening to you. And so after like 30 to 45 seconds, he said, work with what's in front of you. I was like, oh. And so that's the actual thing right there. When you surrender, when you really surrender, when you give yourself to the Lord, then that's when he tells you things, he gives you signals, or he just walks you to where you need to go. So after I heard that, I'm just like, okay, I heard you. Thank you so much for the signal. Thank you so much for the words of wisdom, Lord Jesus. Thank you so much. And I'm walking back to the house and I'm kind of excited, you know, and I had the book in my hand and I'm still walking and I'm like, God, show me what I need to work on to really strengthen my faith and really give you my best of my obedience. And so I'm just praying. I'm having my eyes closed as I'm walking. I'm dang near stumbling in the grass and I'm looking at my book. I'm like, I'm fidgeting the book a little bit, so I'm trying to open the right page of just what God wants me to open. So as I'm doing this, I'm like, okay, I need to find the right page. No, I don't need to find the right page, but God needs to find the right page. So I'm constantly doing this to the book, and I open the page, and it said, the battles that you're going through, tell it out to the other people. So I'm wondering, what are you talking about? Like, what does that even mean? The battles that you're going through, tell it to the other people. And so I got to thinking, I'm like, okay, I've been wanting to do like this stuff for a long time. Like this stuff that's in front of me. Like I've been wanting to do it for a long time, but something kept telling me not to do it. Something kept telling me, I kept doubting myself. I kept just fully letting myself go and putting it to next week, putting it to next month, putting it to the next year, bro. And I'm like, bro, I have to, like, look, what's going on? And God constantly telling me these signs, and he's like, work with what's in front of you. People, I'm getting messages from other people, like, you should do this, that, and the third. You should do TikTok, you should do that. And I'm like, nah, I'm constantly doubting myself, and I'm not having faith in the Lord. And he just gave me right there. What you're going through, spread it out to other people. And not even just that. Just who I am, just the voice, just my voice, and just who I am can really have a big impact on people. And I didn't know that. I did know it, but I didn't know it to this extent. And I'm here to tell y'all, man, silence is key. Silence is key. Obedience is key. Surrendering is key. And my bad, I'm a little bit crazy with my voice, a little bit, my tongue and stuff like that. I got a lot of braces and a lot of stuff in my mouth, so I kind of slur my words a little bit, so don't mind that. But yeah, man, I'm getting a little hot too, boy. When you do this stuff, man, it's a different breed. It's a different feeling other than who you were. You know, your old self, you need to change that into God, man. You know what I mean? Change it into God and watch your life change around for the better. And I'm gonna let you know right now, you're gonna come with tests and tribulations, bro. But that's where it lies at. That's where your faith gets stronger. That's where you really, that's where God really breaks you down and builds you back up. Not from a wooden place, but from a rock, from gold, from silver to literally diamond. You're going from wood to diamond, bro. You have to get broken down and get built back up. You know what I mean? When they have abandoned buildings, they don't just build on top of it. They break it down. When you break it down, God builds you into something that you would never see in your future before. He builds you into the person that he destined you to become. And that's where I'm kind of lying my head at right now. That's where I'm kind of lying my wisdom right now. Another thing is about weakness and spiritual resilience is comparing your journey to others. Jealousy or discouragement. Listen, I've had the same thing going on in my head before. Like, you don't need to compare yourself to others, bro. Come on, man. And I'm really wrong for that too. I stopped that a while ago though, you know. When you compare yourself to others, like on social media, oh, he got this chain on, I ain't got that, I'm still stuck in this stage in my life, bro, you're gonna be depressed. You're gonna be depressed. You have your own journey. That person is not like you. He don't have the same similarities. He was not brought up the way you was. And to be honest, quite frankly, life ain't even fair itself. You could do anything you want, bro. You can do anything you set your mind to, bro. If you compare yourself to your journey, you get a different mindset of who you are. What your mind ultimately does is it takes who you are and put it inside of someone else's brain. And that's the way it is. Like you literally take your own unique values, your own unique identity, and take it out of you. Take what he has and put it inside of you. It's not going to fit. It's like putting a square block inside of a triangle block. It's not the same thing. Simple. Why do you think we have different fingerprints? Because we're all unique and different. We're different kind of people, bro. I don't have the same personality as other people do. We might have similarities, but we're not the same person. So when you compare yourself, your journey ultimately falls off a track. You're going in a straight line, but then you kind of go this way because that other person just knocked you off your hinges. If, say for instance, God gave you a vision, right? God gave you a vision. It's plain and clear, you know. You look at it, you like, man, hey, this is cool. You feel me? This is cool. I'm finna go ahead and go forward to this journey that God has given me. And you thinking like it's all gonna be sunshines and rainbows. It's just I'm gonna just go there, get rich, get financially stable, and do anything I like to do. You wrong. Things are not sunshines and rainbows on this earth. There's a devil in it too. So when you continue to go down that path, everything is cool at the beginning, but then things start getting a little shaky. Things start getting a little shaky. And you're like, Then you start doubting yourself. You're like, should I even go this way? Is this way good for me? Am I going the right way? And you start praying to God, and you start to doubt yourself fully too. You're like, man, there's not supposed to be this many difficulties if I'm supposed to go this way. Why is this happening? What am I doing here? And when you continuously doing that, that's nothing but the devil getting inside your head. That's nothing but the devil. He did the same thing to Eve. Same thing. And so when you continuously doubt yourself, you're like, man, God, what am I supposed to do? But he just gave you your answer. And same thing, what I just told you about what's in front of me. Same exact thing. Same exact thing. When you continuously doubting yourself, continuously looking beyond what God already gave you, then you lose yourself in the process. You get to relying on the devil's wisdom instead of God's wisdom. And that's what faith lies at. That's what faith lies at. The spiritual discernment, man. That's where faith lies at. That's what God's telling us about. When you surrender and have faith, bro, everything's okay. But then when you have the devil all in your ear, it's over with, bro. Bro, I think it's because I'm hot. Hold on, G, let me go. I'm back and I'm better. No, I'm joking. All right, so listen, man. Man, I was sweating in that joint. God has given you this discernment. He's like, yeah, go this way. This is something that you've always been wanting to do. Something that you've always been pleased to do. Something that's been deep inside of your soul, really been burning there since the beginning of when you wanted to do it. So it's just sitting there. It's just like really absorbing you. You want to do it, but something's holding you back. Something's holding you back. You don't tell it to other people because you want to keep it a secret. And I've been there, you know. When you start to do it, you start to get these setbacks, these doubts, and these like, okay, so if I really do this, like what can really happen? You start thinking 10 years down the road or something crazy like that. And ultimately, that's because you really care about it, of course. You really want to strive in what you want to do. And when you think about stuff long term and whatnot, that means you really think about it and you really care about it. When you start to do it, you have this animosity towards it. You have this very deep, anguished, versatile energy towards it. You start to work on it. But then you start taking steps after steps after steps. Everything's going good, and then you get a setback. You get another setback, and then you get another setback. You like, man, I don't know if this is for me. That is exactly where your faith lie at, right there. Not even in faith of God, but faith in you as well. Faith in you for God, if you want to put it in perspective. When you have faith in you, you're ultimately having faith in God, because you are, like, God is inside of you, bro. And, you know, I'm not saying that, kind of idolize yourself as a God, but when you have faith in yourself to pray to God, to surrender to God, then ultimately everything is going to be okay, no matter the setbacks, no matter the circumstances. So don't let circumstances or setbacks define you, because you're greater than that. You're greater than who the setbacks and what is going on inside of your life. And, you know, I've been through setbacks multiple times. I don't let that define me, though. I don't let setbacks define who I am, because I know that the setbacks is ultimately going to make me stronger. It's going to, God is breaking me down to build me back up to a different person. And I'm in that predicament now. And, you know, he's working on me so intensely. Like, he's like, it's like a battle almost. It's like a war inside of me. And I don't let that discourage me, though, because I know I'm going someplace that is unlike anything else. It's something that I need to take into consideration and keep moving forward. A lot of people have faith in God, but knowing that they have faith in God, they still do matters into their own hands. And that's what we have to combat with. We have to let go of, okay, if I'm having faith in God and I want to surrender, why am I still taking full strength into what I need to do in life? No, you have to let God take that into order, take that into consideration, because when you let God do that, you have less anxiety, you have less anger in your heart. You look at people with love, and you ultimately you feel like a better person. We are not made to become our own self, our own God in a way. We're not here to idolize ourselves. We're not here to idolize things on this earth. We're here to surrender to God and find our true potential. And when we do that, everything will fall in line. It's like heaven on earth now. But then a lot of people say hell is on earth because of they don't surrender to God. They don't know who God is. They don't have God in their life, and they're not connected to the main source. The main source is God. And so when we don't do that, we lose ourselves in the process. I've been actually posting on TikTok. If you guys want me to link the TikTok in the description, I definitely will. Just let me know. The knowledge that I do have, I want to kind of spread it out to you guys. You know, I love every single last one of you, whoever do watches this video. I'm not here for the views. I'm here to do God's business and only God's business.